this is going to be a bit of a rant more than anything else. I, in my last video about the sixth gate, I talked about ego death and how it is often propagated by certain types. And we all know those types. They are the ones that go to the Amazon River, spend 5 days out of their mind on ayahuasca, those types. Or they are the New Age type that follow, I don't know, a specific woman. I don't even remember her name. It has a lot of A's in it. It is Ayayaya Shasha Dean, a woman who is so riddled with entities that she has actually started to look like one. If you look her up, you'll know what I mean. She looks exactly like the grey alien in Crowley, that talked to Crowley. And nobody's going to convince me that that is any type of angel or benevolent alien. Because it's just not. And we can all tell. And that actually brings me to the heart of my rant here, that a lot of people, they will look at Satanism and left-hand path people and think that they are the problem with occultism and spirituality. Well, not really. Not really. In fact, these New Agers, like this Dean woman, are the true left-hand path people to me. They preach a certain thing and then they will ask you a lot of money for it. They will ask you money for to attend their speaking sessions, their lectures, and at the end of it you come out more confused than before you went in. These people add nothing. They are there to give you confusion. And yes, I have heard the whole spiel that if you get nothing out of it, it's not for you, or even worse, you are part of the Dark Brotherhood or whatever the hell that they come up with in order to justify themselves just wanting to make a buck, which is what it is. It really is all that it is. If you listen to these ascension gurus, anybody could make it up. Anybody can make it up. You pull together a bunch of mumbo jumbo that means nothing, or it means everything, because there is no real meaning there. Anybody can be right and anybody can be wrong, because it doesn't mean anything. It leads to nothing. Does anybody ever get better listening to these things? Because that is the point of magic and spirituality in the end, that you get better from it. If you use magic or magical practices, the end goal is to better your own life. And if not to better your own life, at least to better your own mind, to gain more insights, to become a better version of yourself, to experience a profound sense of tranquility and contentness, which is what happiness really is. If you are constantly elated, going around on a cloud, live, love, laugh, oh, everything is so great, well, that's mania. You're going to come down from it sooner or later, and the longer you are on that sort of hype, the harder you're going to crash, and the harder it's going to be for you to climb out from that again. That is in itself maybe not a mental illness, but it certainly is a mental affliction that can lead to a mental illness. It's not good for you. Now, does it happen? Yes, of course it happens. But you shouldn't want to actively pursue that. Which is sort of what I think of when I hear these New Agers go on about, space Jesus, basically. They have replaced Jesus with aliens. And listening to them, I feel sorry for these people, to be honest, because you have to be pretty desperate in an emotional and spiritual way in order to buy into that, quite literally buy into it, only to come out more confused than you were before you went into that, and think this somehow helps you. It doesn't. If your life is not getting better from doing these things, you need to stop doing them. It is the same thing, like when you have a certain habit, like drinking. Yes, it can be really fun to have a drink. It can be fantastic fun to go out with friends and to have a drink and to have a laugh and to listen to music and to have discussions, or just to fuck around a little bit. It's very fun. Everybody does it. But if you're going to do that every day, then is it really fun? Or are you just using this to escape? Are you using it to escape the world, your problems? They're not going to go away. The world is still going to be there and you're still going to be in it. Your problems are not going away. They're most likely you're going to create new problems while the old ones are not going anywhere. So it's going to get worse for you. You're going to have more problems. If this is your way of escaping, then fine, do it. If you get that brief respite from the world and you feel better afterwards, then you do that. You do that. That is escapism. It is the same thing as playing a video game for a few hours and just not think of anything, because it doesn't make you think. The people that are writing these lectures about the 40th DNA strand in the Neptunian galaxy when the Aryan race was split into 5 factions, they're not thinking about anything either. They're just making it up as they go along. It requires so little effort for them to make that stuff up that it borders on criminality, truth be told. Well, criminality, maybe not. Something is only worth as much as somebody else is willing to pay for it. That is true. And there is something to be said about this certain kind of ignorance, stupidity even. And I don't want to knock on people that feel something is missing from their life in the realms of the spiritual. I get that. I really do. And I empathize. And I have empathy for those people. But why look to space? Or why look to a savior at all? I don't get that. I don't. Who's going to come? And what if it doesn't come? Or it doesn't come? You should never look outside of yourself to be saved. Save yourself. And about left-hand people, yeah, there's some real assholes there, I won't deny that. Not necessarily within Satanism, although I have seen the pictures of SatanCon 2022, 23, I can't even remember. But there were so many things that I was laughing at while seeing it. You had to be fully vaxxed, you had to get the mask, and they even specify which masks you had to wear. And I was thinking like, wow, if I was Satan, I'd turn Christian in an instant. In an instant. If I was Satan and I saw this convention in my name, I would become a born-again Christian. Yeah. Now, a lot of left-hand path people are also into Goetia, the Ars Goetia, which personally I don't actually have any problem with. It's not for me, I'm gonna say that. It doesn't jive with me. But I will say that I have seen more people failing at magic using that system than I have seen people be successful at it. And those people that I have seen successful at Goetia are highly disciplined people. Very disciplined, self-disciplined people. In reality, a lot of people that get into the Ars Goetia are people that get into it because it is so accessible, because it requires no real work on yourself. It requires no real inner work. You just read about a couple of demons, you start to summon them, and voila, your life's going to magically get better. And it just doesn't work that way. It never does. That's why these people very often end up destroying themselves, and in very bad cases end up taking people with them, which happened to a certain left-hand path occultist. Well, it happened, and it has happened more often than you will read about in the media. These people are essentially lazy, and they are so lazy that they are actually just losers. They, they're people that don't even want to really read about the Goetia. They just found something that they read somewhere and they ran with it. And they ran with it all the way. They ran with it to extremes, expecting miraculous results while doing the least amount of effort possible. It just doesn't work that way. That was my rant. I think I've said enough. Oh, probably could say so much more. Maybe I'll make another one of these. I don't know. Think about it.